Hi, good afternoon. Kasser Nadeem from Islamabad, Pakistan. Here are some major news regarding Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan government is in great trouble. The President and Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Rajapaksa and Ranil Vikram, both are in troubling situations because fuel oil is not more than a week and payment of debt is great. Within 6 months, Sri Lankan government has to pay $7 billion to countries who gave loan to Sri Lanka. IMF team is sitting in Sri Lanka last few days, and a delegation of American Treasury and Congress has reached for 3-day visit in Sri Lanka. This team of American delegation is discussing and helping and aid would announce. Here are some main points of this delegation. This delegation has announced $158 million for finance and businesses, $120 million, and for industry, $27 million, and humanitarian aid, $5.7 million, and for livelihood and financial reform, $6 million announced. And they are also agreed on some import to be allowed to Sri Lanka, but still in process. IMF team is also sitting, but not finalized anything. This is a demand of $3 billion package from IMF by Sri Lankan government. And 2 ministers are in schedule to go Russia to import oil on direct basis, but if IMF and the American delegation would allow to do that deal. In Sri Lanka, the situation from the countryside is that non-essential petrol sales halted for 2 weeks in Sri Lanka because of worst economic crisis in decade. What allowed in Sri Lanka? Allowed just for medical services and transportation of food. Oil just allowed for medical services and transportation of food. School shut down completely. Offices allowed to work from home and allowed a 1 day more leave for growing rice in Sri Lanka. IMF in Sri Lanka and discussing bailout package, but not finalized. But IMF said that this Sri Lankan bailout package they are demanding just for food, medicine and oil. Now the condition is very serious. Private vehicles are completely banned till 10th July of the next month. Sri Lankan official sends to 2 countries, Russia and the second Qatar, for oil import on credit basis, and they will demand the oil just for food and for medical services. The cost of living in Sri Lanka is so high, and the economy and shortage of food and oil prices make it quite worst. And just government is having 9,000 tons diesel and 6,000 tons petrol. This is less than just for a week. And if you can think, if all empty, then what will happen in Sri Lanka? Because no oil for food supply and for medical services. It is a serious human crisis going to be held in Sri Lanka. And Sri Lankan government is still in negotiation with the donors and loan countries to provide loan for basic necessities and for import bill. Why this happened in Sri Lanka? Because according to central bank, the governor of central bank has said in an interview to BBC that Sri Lanka could avoid this situation if it goes to IMF early. He said that if he had chosen IMF rather than to donors countries and put a request for a bailout package in early, then Sri Lanka could save itself from this crisis of default. That is the end. Next time again with another country's update. Thanks so much.